Hello and a very warm welcome. Is Formula One racing ruined? Because potentially we could see absolute carnage at the Qatar Grand Prix in the race. Now it could be quite difficult to overtake at Qatar, but with what happened yesterday, does that set a precedent for more of that? Yeah, I think the stewards have taken a big L. Now, I'm one of these people, I don't want to keep going on about this incident. For me, it's over now. But I am an F1 channel, and a lot of people are talking about racing. And is F1 racing ruined? Because basically, you can just force someone out wide now and not get a penalty. So, for example, say Charles Leclerc forces Lando Norris wide. Technically, he should not get a penalty if the stewards are going to be consistent, because Max was allowed to do it at Brazil. But I have a feeling the stewards will give a penalty next time it happens, because they're so inconsistent. I genuinely do believe next time that happens, whoever's involved will get a penalty. So I think they took a big L here, the stewards. The stewards should control the racing. That's what they're there for. But they haven't got control of the racing, it seems. Yeah. I mean, I think most people are in agreement that it was done on purpose. And you've got to say, as snidey as it was, as aggressive it was, Max absolutely got away with it. So, technically... But this is the problem. This is the problem for me. Max believes he's doing nothing wrong because he's not getting punished for it. So Max could do it again. And he'd be like, well, I've never got a penalty so far, so I'll keep doing it. And that gives all other 19 drivers a lot. They see Max doesn't get a penalty for that. Nearly every F1 driver who's been interviewed about it said Max should have had a penalty. So all 19 drivers now know they can basically push the other driver off and there should be no penalty. Lando Norris got a penalty for pushing Perez wide at Austria, which I can't remember what I said on that incident. I think that one was harsh. The next corner where he pushed someone wide, he should have got a penalty, I think. Yeah, but it's a massive call. Yeah. A lot of people have been mentioning it in the comments, so this is why I'm doing a video. But after I've done this video, I think this conversation is squashed. Yeah. Basically, what I want is good, hard racing. I would use Bahrain 2014 as the prime example. Lewis, Nico, hard racing. Hard racing. A bit on the limit at times, but hard racing. I called it at the time that Max did it on purpose. On the limit. He should have had a penalty during the race. Once we got to Qatar, he was never going to get a penalty. Yeah. But yeah, basically what I want to happen is I want to see good, hard, wheel-to-wheel racing, and I want the best man to win on track. It's going to be an absolute scandal if this championship gets decided like 5 days later in the steward's office or something. That's what we don't want. And I think both fans, whoever you support, Max or Lewis, can agree on that. But honestly, I would expect a carnage Qatar Grand Prix. Imagine if Max and Valtteri are side by side. Valtteri is just going to push Max wide because they know they can get away with it if the stewards are going to be consistent. Leclerc, Norris, even Nikita Mazepin could do it on Mick Schumacher and nothing will be said because they've seen, the stewards have set it out now that they see this as acceptable racing. So you're going to see it a lot more. And if, say, like Leclerc does it to Norris and Leclerc gets a penalty, well, he's going to argue, well, look at Brazil. Max did the same. He didn't get anything. So is F1 racing ruined? I let the people decide in the comments. Yeah, comment down below. I always reply, and we're getting a lot of new people to the channel with these videos. But let me pull it straight, right? I do not hate Max. I'm actually a big fan of him. I'm a Lewis fan, number one, but I'm also a fan of Max. I think he's fantastic for Formula One, and I love his attitude. And he is a special talent, and he will be world champion. I do not hate Max, but I give an honest opinion. Like, I'm not here to play up to. I give a straightforward, honest opinion. How I see it. For example, Monza, Max Lewis collided. I'm a Lewis fan. I said that was Lewis's fault, and not many people agreed with me. But I call it how I see it. Like Max, super aggressive at Imola, super aggressive at Spain. Silverstone, a lot of people blamed Lewis for that. I reckon that was a racing incident myself. I think both equally to blame. But Monza, I saw it as a Lewis fault. And Brazil, I saw it as Max's fault, 100%. And I do question what's going to happen with the racing, because the other drivers, the Ferrari, the McLaren, the Aston Martins, the Alphas, they see that as the way forward. So we're going to see a lot of aggressive driving, I would presume, because their argument is, well, if Max didn't get a penalty, then we won't. And of course, the F1 drivers are going to push the limits, and the limits are that is not deemed as a penalty. So, yeah, comment down below, get involved. I would love to know your thoughts. Yeah, we all support our different drivers. We all have opinions. Yeah, that's what it's about. Sport is boring if you all have the same opinions. Thanks for watching. Adios.